Are there other dimensions that exist on our planet? What about portals to other realms? These are fascinating questions that must be explored when studying today's story. I'm excited to share a tale that has been mentioned in many books through the years and still leaves one with a sense of intrigue and wonder. What would you do if you found yourself walking outside your home and crossed paths with two children with green skin? That's weird enough, but what if they spoke a completely foreign language and wore weird clothing? Well, that's exactly the situation some villagers found themselves in several hundred years ago. This is going to be a wild story. Let's get started. In the heart of the English countryside, nestled amidst rolling hills and verdant meadows, lies the ancient village of Woolpit. It was a village like any other, with its thatched cottages, cobbled streets, and a peaceful rhythm that mirrored the gentle sway of the surrounding fields. But beneath its idyllic facade, Woolpit harbored a mystery that would bewilder generations and spark countless speculations. The mystery of the Green Children. The year was sometime in the 12th century, a time of superstition, myths, and the intertwining of the mundane with the magical. In an age where belief in the unseen was as natural as the breath they drew, the villagers of Woolpit were no strangers to tales of fairies and otherworldly beings. And yet, nothing could have prepared them for what they would discover on that fateful day. It was during the harvest season when the air was thick with the scent of ripened wheat and the laughter of children echoed through the fields. As the villagers toiled beneath the sun, their labor was interrupted by an unusual sight. The appearance of two children, a boy and a girl, emerging from one of the village's ancient wolf pits. The villagers gasped in astonishment, for the children were unlike any they had ever seen. Their skin, once fair as any English child's, was now tinged with an eerie shade of green. Their clothing was equally peculiar, woven from an unknown fabric that bore no resemblance to the materials commonly used in the region. But what struck the villagers most was their language. A language utterly foreign, a sense of strange sounds that defied comprehension. Baffled and curious, the villagers approached the children cautiously, offering them food and water. But the children, clearly frightened and disoriented, refused to eat and drink. They spoke in their incomprehensible tongue and seemed to understand nothing of the world around them. It was the village's reeve, Sir Richard Decane, who took the children under his care. He brought them to his manor, hoping that their condition might improve with time and care. The green hue of their skin, however, remained unchanged, a constant reminder of their mysterious origins. As days turned into weeks, the children began to adapt to their new surroundings. The boy, older of the two, was more resilient, quickly learning a few words of English and picking up some of the villagers' customs. The girl, however, remained mostly silent, her eyes carrying a sadness and longing that no one could fathom. It was the girl's transformation that would eventually shed some light on the mystery of the Green Children. Over time, her skin gradually lost its peculiar hue, taking on a more natural color. As her condition improved, her grief seemed to lessen, and she began to open up to those around her. Through gestures and simple words, she conveyed a story that would forever change the way the villagers of Woolpit saw the world. She spoke of a land unlike their own, a place of perpetual twilight and a green-hued sky. In this land, she and her brother had lived a peaceful life, until one day they had followed a peculiar sound, a sound that led them through a cavernous passage and brought them to the mouth of the wolf pit in Woolpit. As they stepped into the pit, the world around them transformed, and they found themselves in the English countryside, surrounded by bewildered villagers. The transition had left them disoriented and unable to communicate, hence their silence and the foreignness of their language. News of the Green Children spread like wildfire, reaching the ears of scholars, nobles, and even the local clergy. The church, which held considerable sway over the beliefs of the time, saw the children as potential converts and took them under its wing. The boy, now named Stephen, continued to adapt and learn, eventually becoming fluent in English and embracing his new life. The girl named Agnes struggled more, perhaps haunted by memories of a world she could never return to. But as the years passed, both Stephen and Agnes integrated into English society, their green origins becoming more of a curious anecdote than a defining aspect of their identities. And yet the mystery of their arrival and the land they claimed to come from persisted, remaining etched in the annals of history as one of its most enduring enigmas. To this day, the tale of the green children of Woolpit continues to captivate and mystify. Some have offered explanations rooted in science, suggesting that their green hue could have been the result of a plant-based diet or mineral-rich environment. Others have delved into the realms of folklore, speculating that they were indeed denizens of the fairy realm, temporarily crossing over into our world. The story of the green children of Woolpit is a fascinating medieval legend that has been passed down through various accounts and historical records. While the details may vary in different retellings, the core elements of the story remain consistent. Here are some historical accounts and references that have contributed to the legend. Now, before I get started on these, I do want to make mention that I've heard different tales of what happened between the boy and the girl. I read at one point that the boy died just a few years after discovery, and that the girl later on got married and had children, and the children had a little bit of the green tint, but eventually grew out of that as well, and she did as well. She took on a more normal tint, just like her children. Also, I've seen tales where they would only eat green beans and other things like that. So there's all types of different stories relating to these particular children. But let's look at some historical references that have been left to us through the passage of time. Ralph of Coggeshall's Chronicles, a medieval chronicler and abbot, provides one of the earliest accounts of the green children in his Chronicon Anglicanum, or the Chronicle of England. He writes about the children's arrival in Woolpit and their green appearance. His account is considered one of the primary sources for the legend. William of Newburgh's Historia Rerum Anglicarum, 1196 through 1198. William of Newburgh, an English historian, also mentions the green children in his work. His accounts provide additional details about the children's diet, their reluctance to eat any food other than beans, and the eventual loss of their green color. Gervase of Tilbury, a medieval scholar, includes a version of the story in his collection of anecdotes and trivia. He adds the detail that the boy learned English and explained their origins, describing a subterranean land where everything was green. Various medieval chronicles and manuscripts. Apart from the well-known accounts, the green children's story appears in the medieval manuscripts and chronicles, often retelling the essential aspects of their arrival, appearance, and assimilation into English society. Later folklore and retellings. The legend of the green children has been retold and reinterpreted through the centuries, finding its way into folk songs, ballads, and local histories. These variations often emphasize different elements of the story and contribute to its enduring popularity. Modern interpretations. The green children's legend has continued to captivate the imagination of authors, historians, and researchers. Modern analysis and theories propose various explanations, ranging from natural phenomena to symbolic interpretations of the story. While the historical accounts vary in certain details, they collectively contribute to the enduring mystery and intrigue surrounding the green children of Woolpit. Their tale serves as a reminder of how folklore and history intertwine, inviting us to explore the boundaries between fact and legend. But whatever the truth may be, the story of the green children remains a reminder that history is more than just dates and events. It's a tapestry woven with threads of mystery, intrigue, and the enduring human quest to understand the inexplainable. And as the village of Woolpit goes about its days, surrounded by its fields and meadows, the whispers of the past still linger, carried on the wind like the echoes of a distant world. And so the tale of the green children of Woolpit continues to captivate, their enigma woven into the fabric of history. Their mysterious arrival, their peculiar transformation, and the land they claim to have come from remain etched in the annals of time, a puzzle that defies easy answers. Don't miss out on more captivating tales from history and mystery on the Lore Chronicles. Remember to like this video and hit that subscribe button to stay connected with us. Join our community of curious minds as we dive deeper into the unknown and unveil stories that have stood the test of time. See you next time.